Okay, it's me, Dictator of War again. I just want to give my 2 cents on this whole anti-TNA rampage that half of the internet wrestling community seems to be on. I'm with Ron Buddha 6669 on his whole comments of what he said about a lot of people saying, well, if you don't like WWE, you're a retard. If you like TNA, you're not a true wrestling fan. Stuff like that. To force you into their line of thought, it is retarded and it is quite insulting. What I find more insulting is just because, and for example, this one person in a comment not too long ago, which I will leave his name out of it because I just really don't want to stir up the pot or stir up trouble, but he is like, oh yeah, TNA back in 2005 was great and everything else, and anyone who likes TNA now, they're just a bunch of sheep. I find that insulting for several reasons. The definition of a sheep. What is a sheep? A sheep, by nature, is a dumb animal. It has to be led around by a shepherd. It has to follow the shepherd. And if the shepherd walks away, the sheep's going to just go around, scurry about, do its own little thing, and get lost. And if without the shepherd's help, it can go out into dangerous areas, hurt itself, or even worse, be attacked by predators such as wolves. And quite frankly, what they're pretty much referring to is that we have to be led around, and pretty much whatever TNA puts out there and tells us, we follow it blindly. No, I'm not like that. I point out TNA's flaws. But at the same time, I do it because I'm passionate. Just like a lot of other YouTube shooters out there, they nitpick everything, every wrong thing. They don't even look at any good thing TNA does. See, I nitpick the things that TNA does wrong, but I also compliment them and pat them on the back and the things they've done right. In my opinion, they have been doing things right, and they are trying to go in a different direction and get back on their feet and do some things and lead it in a positive direction. Now, there are things TNA is doing and still is doing that I'm not too terribly fond of, I don't like, and I'll be the first to admit I think some of the things they've done is stupid. I do believe, yes, there needs to be less gimmick matches. Yes, I do believe there needs to be less wrestlers with gimmicks, and they need to start focusing more on wrestling. They need to build up the tag team division again, build up the X division again, and just quit just focusing all their energy on the knockout division, which is great, but all that energy they're focusing on the knockout division, they can also focus a little bit of it on the X division and the tag team division, which I feel has kind of suffered as of late. And without giving away any spoilers, they are doing something kind of gimmicky and a little confusing, but hopefully the end result will be better and we can start building up the tag team division pretty soon. But what I'm trying to get at is this. See, I just gave you a list of things of TNA that I feel that needs some improvement. But I don't think every last thing that TNA is doing is horrible. I'm sorry. I think it is wrong to not give TNA a chance at all. Because, quite frankly, there's a lot of things that TNA is working on and doing right. But no one looks at that. And everyone has shit on Lockdown and said the title, Joe winning the title didn't matter. It was horrible. The match was horrible. They said the whole crowd was chanting boring. When I only heard one person chant boring, how can one person be a crowd? I'd like to know that. A bunch of things. People leave out the fact that they pumped up every last match, even the shitty ones, the ones that people really bitched about. They even try to pump those up and make them look special. Look, TNA is doing what they can to make things look more important, and I think Lockdown was their attempt to do that. Now, I can't say just defend Lockdown completely and say it was the best pay-per-view ever because it wasn't. I don't think they should have had Cuffed in a cage. I don't think they should have had the intergender tag team match of Booker T and Sharmell versus Robert Roode and Peyton Banks. I thought those two things really kind of took away from TNA. And also, the Queen of Cage I thought was kind of lame as well. But, yes, I pointed out some bad things. But, there were some good things. The tag team knockout match was awesome. I enjoyed it. Lethal Lockdown was pretty entertaining to watch and it was fun to watch. I enjoyed Lethal Lockdown. And despite what people said, Joe versus Angle was not that bad. They tried to make it special and they're doing something different. Sometimes when you try out things that are different, it's hit or miss. They were experimenting with something. It's very rare that you see other promotions experiment and try to do things that are different. Sometimes I believe TNA tries to do too many things and they have too many ideas that they throw out there, all at once. I think they need to spread things out and really start to think and concentrate and simplify their product and simplify a few things. But I'm going on a rabbit trail and going on a rant again. Back to point. If you don't like TNA, stop watching. Some people say they watch it because of hope. Well, if you hope for it to get better, then that's great. My hat's off to you. A lot of people say that they criticize TNA because of hope. Well, watch it with hope, but don't throw in every last thing, just to bash it. Give it a chance. Giving it a chance doesn't mean you have to be completely, biased or you have to just love it or something. It's not like me saying, here's a shit sandwich, eat it. No. What I'm simply saying is, and I'm not saying that TNA is shit either. A lot of people think it is. But if you have hope for it to be better, yeah, I'm glad that you're voicing your opinions because it's your opinion. But sometimes we get passionate about things. And I can understand that because I'm passionate about it and I want it to get better. But sometimes I think people are a little too harsh and they miss the general idea of what the product is, and they too busy nitpicking every little tiny detail, they forget to enjoy the things that are actually good about the product. That's what I'm trying to convey right now. People are too busy nitpicking every tiny little mistake that TNA makes, and because of it, they overlook that there are some good things going on in the product, and they just label everything shit. They don't even give it a chance. They can't even give it a chance to enjoy it. And if you nitpick every little tiny thing about everything, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. Same to be said about WWE. There's a lot of things I can nitpick about the WWE, but there's certain things that actually in WWE that entertain me. And I'm not a WWE fan. But I'm willing to give WWE a chance because sometimes they can deliver. They don't deliver as often as I think they should. I believe they can deliver way more than they have been, but there are some things that I find entertaining. That's all I have to say concerning TNA. Just giving you my 2 cents. That's all I gotta say, guys. Been real.